the best 4x4 expedition vehicle in the world. G'day guys, welcome back to another episode. Welcome to the Unimog build series. This thing behind me here is a 1988 U1700 Mercedes-Benz Unimog, and it is an absolute weapon. Now this build series, I'm not sure how many episodes I'm going to make this, 1, 2 or 3. I'm not going to drag it out. I'm just going to show you guys the interesting parts and show you exactly why I'm doing it and what I'm doing to this beast. Why have I chosen a Unimog out of everything on the market? You all know me, I'm in my 79 series cruiser with my toy hauler trailer, and it's at its limit. Basically, I love the 79 series, but the truck, I've got the GVM upgrade to 3950, and I'm at that limit. The trailer is at its limit with the quad bike and the tinny on the top and the outboard motor, and all my film, camp, fishing, diving, all that gear weighs a lot. Now the Unimog here behind me has a GVM of 12 tonne, and it sits there at the moment at about 6 tonne. So by the time I put everything on the back, Mission Built's going to do the full tray upgrade, the kitchen, the canopy, the frame on the back to take the tinny and all the gear. I'm still going to have like 4 tonne to play with once the thing's loaded. So it's so capable, and that brings me to the Unimog being, in my eyes, possibly the best 4x4 expedition vehicle in the world. Now I know it's old, and to get a new one is super expensive, but this thing here has the potential. So I want to play around with it. I'm going to do a build and try and get this thing to its full potential, and I'm hoping it's going to be perfect for what I do. Now, why is it the best expedition vehicle in the world? It comes not standard but legal with 46-inch tyres, beadlock rims, so I can run the tyres down to like 1 PSI if I have to. Huge lift. It has portal axles under it as standard. It has diff locks. Like I said, it's 12 tonne GVM. It's got a 5.6 litre turbo diesel 6-cylinder engine, so it's an absolute weapon, and I can't wait to get it finished and get it up into Northern Australia, where I love, and really put this thing to the test. But let's walk around real quickly. The tray, I'm going to sand back myself, the frame itself, and then Mission Built and I'm going to paint it. Mission Built's going to do the full tray upgrade, so new steel sheets on top because it had rotten flooring on there that I've already pulled off. They're going to do the canopy, the water tank. They're going to do a rack on the back, which is going to be streamlined with that canopy to take the Quintrex tinny on top. Space underneath there for the quad bike. The outboard motor, the spare tyre, which is absolutely huge. You can see that behind me. So Mission Built's taking care of all of that. In this space here, they're going to be building a slide-out kitchen. Now, because the tray is so high, you can't have your kitchen in the canopy, unfortunately. So we're going to build this really cool slide-out kitchen down here, which should work perfect. I'm pretty sure that height's going to be perfect. We've got fuel tanks on both sides, diesel tanks. So in total, I have about 260 litres, which should be enough to start with for the first trip at least, and see what we need to do from there. I'm going to get rid of the headboard, cut the headboard off, and Mission Built's going to build a new one there again to be in line with the canopy and everything. The exhaust is going to go. I'll come back to that in a minute, but that's going, and Mission Built are going to build a ladder up the side there to access the rack on top. Now, talking about the rack up on top there, it already has a nice a frame up the top and coming down the front here to the bull bar in the front, but I just don't like it. The gauge of that pipe is too small, and the welds are crap, and Mission Built aren't happy with it, so they're going to build something a lot nicer to go in there. Looking at the cab, you know, the flares, the steps, the mirrors, everything's coming off. The doors will come off. The bar work, like I said, the front bar, everything's going to come off and be sanded back. Any rust cut out, any rust that's in it will be cut out and repainted. All the windows will come out and new rubbers are going in, which brings me to Mog Central. Mog Central are going to, they've got an online store, and they're down there in, where are they, in Queanbeyan, down near Canberra, and they have absolutely everything that you need for a Unimog. So all your spare parts, you know, like the rubbers, right down to window winders, absolutely everything, they have those parts. But they also have aftermarket gear. So I've ordered an exhaust through them, right through to the back. I've ordered a new turbo and an intercooler through them, all sorts of stuff, and it's all coming from Mog Central. Really cool company. Now, talking about the exhaust and the turbo, this is a 5.6 litre V6 or 6-cylinder turbo diesel. Now, the turbo on this one is cooked. It does absolutely nothing. You hear it trying to spool up and you get no power, no pull from it. So the turbo has to be replaced and the exhaust will go with that, and an intercooler, so I'm going to get a lot more power out of this motor. I want to do a new grille to make room for the intercooler. New front bar on the front. This is the big old winch and it has to go. It's a PTO winch and basically it's useless for what I'll be doing. So we're going to put a big winch on it, like a 20,000 pound winch on the front, and rip all this bar work off, rip the lights out, put new lights in, respray these wings on the bar. I have to save money where I can because this is going to be a very expensive build, so saving the wings on there and respraying them black to go in with the colour theme that I've chosen. Get rid of these lift points, which used to be so they could lift these Unimogs with the helicopters, the big Chinooks I think they were called. They're actually illegal these days, so they have to go, and there'll be a new bar being mounted in the middle here, in between the two wings, for the winch mount. Apart from the exhaust and the turbo, the motor itself actually seems pretty good. I think it has about 150,000 Ks on it. Still a baby. My Cruiser, my 2019 model 79 series, has 130,000 Ks on it. So this is just, it's just getting started. We have 46-inch tyres, but these are quite old. These, look at the size of them. They're just massive. These are Michelin tyres. They're about $3,600 per tyre, extremely expensive. So I've got new tyres coming for this, again from Mog Central, because Mog Central has basically everything. What else we got here? Yeah, again, these guards are going to come off and be resprayed. The snorkel will come off, and Mission Built will make me a custom snorkel for there, like a nice 4-inch pipe snorkel coming out and facing back. Mirrors have to come off, doors have to come off. On the inside here, door cards will come off, and so will this pocket here, and be replaced by Mog Central. So I can have cup holders in there. The doors will be sprayed, new rubbers on the doors and windows because they're all coming out to be resprayed. Now the inside, so these Unimogs are pretty rough, right? They're noisy, very hot, because between or next to your feet here, actually penetrating into the cab is the motor, and all that's between you and that motor is like 2.5 mil steel. So it does get hot and noisy. So and I mean, it's had rust in the roof. There's like the liner on the roof there has water stains on it. It's going to take some work. So what I'm going to do, I've got a full car builder's kit. Car builders do a sound deadener, and then like a mass noise liner, then marine carpet, and all new trim around the edges and stuff, to really, one, to tidy it up, but two, well actually three things: tidy it up, get rid of that noise as much as possible, and get rid of some of that heat. So they're the three things that I really want to do to make this more comfortable for the big trips that I do. And then it's all about just tidying it up. The seats I'm going to do, get them reupholstered. I'm pretty happy with like a semi-bench seat, and this is like an old Hilux seat or something. It'll do me. I'm not that fussy coming out of a 79 series. The whole interior is going to be resprayed. I'm going to build an overhead console up the top, and a bit of a dash console kind of thing, just for a bit more storage, because there's not much storage in these things. New stereo with like a nice touchscreen and HEMA maps, and then yeah, new ceiling and new tint and respray. Under the bonnet, we're also going an alternator kit. Now these Unimogs run on a big ass generator, which, because it's a 24 volt system, I don't want the generator, I want to go with an alternator. So again, Mog Central do a 100 amp alternator kit. So I'm getting that, and then I'll take this up to Shervy Power Products. Get behind Shervy. Thank you, Shervy. Everything I do, every idea I come up with, Shervy are behind me. They back me with everything. So great company. So they're going to rewire everything that needs to be rewired. They'll do one of their prefab kits for the canopy. So I have lithium power, solar on the roof, DC to DC, all that stuff that you need to be living off the road, on the road, off grid, doing what I do. So thank you, Chevy. They'll be doing all the power. So as you can see here, someone before me, I've ripped apart the wiring inside the cab there as well. Someone before me, or probably quite a few people, have had to go at wiring this truck. You know, stereos, UHFs, all that stuff, reverse cameras. It all has to come out and be redone. So between myself and Chevy, we'll get that done. And that is almost it, guys. I'm really itching to rip into this. I've had the truck now for a while, but we've been planning to do this build. I got the truck off Sean from Dog and Gun Coffee, and we've been talking about this since the start of the year, like 6 months now. So I've just been itching to get it in to my name, and so I can start pulling this thing apart. And today's the day. I'm very excited. So I don't want to keep talking, but this is an extremely capable truck, and it's just ugly and uncomfortable and run down, and it just needs some love, and it's going to be epic. So stick around, let's rip in. I'll explain things as I go. And then I also just went to Bardo Island in the Torres Strait, up in the Torres Strait Islands. So I'll show you guys a little bit of a highlight reel from that, because that was an epic trip. Short one. I flew up there, which is not normal for me, and spent 2 weeks on the island, living out of a backpack with all my camera gear, my dive gear, my fishing gear, and little to no food. So it was very interesting. Met some amazing people, friends for life, and just had an absolute ball. So stick around for that too. But let's get on with this build series.
One later on this event, customers travelling on crosswise at 072 K's will be boarding the Spy Beauty Group numbers 22.
Might not look like much to most people, but this is going to be absolutely delicious.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! Yeah, I was building on a lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true stock trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze cut freeze. Straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares. A bomb break sky high. Check the movement is here. Yeah. It's one shot. Now the future is yours. Go! Turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. The memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the balls in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best. Yes, painting pictures for the culture, keep the brushes fresh. Flip the people with the drummer, passion never rests. Freedom is a teacher under pressure, never rests. So good for the club. It's one shot. Now the future is yours. Go. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours.
Yeah, that's all right. We're putting one there.
Yeah.
So we're going to take these off and fill that in.
I was building on the lecture. Verses coming daily under pressure. Working on the plot and the scheme. The true stock trademark is at the edge of your dreams. I'm talking one shot for the kill. The breeze cut freeze up. Straight dropping the chills. I'm talking taking over pieces and shares. A bomb break sky high. Check the movement is here. Yeah. It's one shot. Now the future is yours. Go. I'm turning dreams into reality. In the lab with the formula and chemistry. The memories spark and motivate and make the industry shake. We put the balls in the brakes. I'm talking one chance at best.
We'll just cut the exhaust off here, unbolted off the side of the cab, and cut it here. So I hope you reckon it's going to sound pretty tough. I'll make sure it's in neutral here. Doesn't sound that good. You reckon? Okay, give it some on the accelerator. Just go. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good, mate. You gotta go listen. You get in there. Alright, so we're stripping the front off here. The wheel guard's off the side. Opie's taken the grill off. This is the filter for the cabin, the air filter for the cabin. So we'll take that out soon, check that, probably get a new one through Mog Central. Side step's gone, and I've just noticed as you're working on these projects, like every project grows as you're doing it. And the reason I like to do it myself is because you learn about the vehicle or whatever you're doing, you learn about it as you're doing it. So if I'm up north and something goes wrong, I know roughly where to look to fix it. But yeah, as you sort of dig deeper into a project, you start to find more issues. Like up in here, I'm starting to find bits and pieces of rust, which, well, I can see signs of rust. So as I get to the inside and start ripping the floor out, I'm probably going to find the other end of it, which I'll have to hit with a wire wheel and get to the bottom of it properly, and hopefully it's not too bad. But projects always grow, you know, as you're working on them. Might allow 3 or 4 weeks to do the whole thing, and then as you go on, you're like, oh, there's an extra day and there's an extra $500, and you just keep throwing time and money at it. But we're fully committed to this, so we've got to get it done. But yeah, exhaust is off, wheel guards are off, side steps off. I need to keep pulling this front bar apart and pull that front drive shaft out that goes to the PTO winch, which is gone now. I need to rip that whole front leg of the drive shaft, or that whole front drive shaft out that went to the PTO winch. Now the problem with that, again, learning along the way, is I was hoping that I could just undo these bolts, get at that uni joint there, disconnect that and take the drive shaft out. But I've found that we've got this brace, which you can see is like a custom jobby. That's not factory, because I've cut this to put it in, to get to this pulley system, which goes up to this fan here on the back of the radiator. So I can't take that out because this won't be braced. I need to work out, I'll have to do it today, take it out, and then before I drive the truck, I'm gonna have to get a new one of these braces fabricated, probably from Mission Built, to come right down to here and get a fixing into the back of it there. But anyway, I've got to pull these wings off now and then start taking the snorkel and all that stuff off. Well, that's it there. We're going to disconnect that uni joint, and that drive shaft goes through to the front. For now, I've just got to disconnect that uni joint, but I'm pretty sure if I was to, you know, if someone was to want to buy that PTO winch, I'm going to have to remove the rest of this at the back here, which is beyond me. I'm going to do some research on how to disconnect all of that. Then there's still a few things I've got to figure out too. This here is a generator, which is, these Unimogs are a 24 volt system. So this generator is obviously, it's, instead of an alternator, it's how the power gets from the motor to the 24 volt system. I'm going to remove that, and from Mog Central I've got a 100 amp alternator coming, which will mount down in here. These lights have to go, they do next to nothing. So the old halogen lights, I'm still trying to work out, I'm maybe steady, I'm trying to work out what light setup I can fabricate to fit in here, because you can see there's like these brackets on each side. That's super solid, and it has to fit perfectly into these frames. So I want to go LED lights into there. So I've got to work that out, I've got to work those out, and then things like, I'll show you guys the battery setup. So this is the battery setup, and these batteries here slide out. So that's, there's 2 batteries there, it's a 24 volt setup. So all that does is start the truck. And I want to have a second battery, which was mounted up on here in just a dodgy setup. I want to make that nicer. The third battery for all the 12 volt gear. So the UHF, the stereo, the HEMA maps, everything in the cab basically. And I've already got a little red arc DC to DC in there to run power from the alternator, to sort all the power. It would be nice if I could get, this is on a tray here that slides in and out, if I could get 3 batteries to fit in there like real snug. But I need to talk to Chevy about that and see what we can come up with for the 24 volt and the 12 volt setup. It's a bit beyond me, I haven't got my head around that yet. So yeah, still lots of little bits and pieces to work out along the way and order that gear as we're going, so you don't get to the end and there's still lots of things you need and haven't thought of. And yeah, the fun of it all. So I want to show you guys the state. Nothing on the camera. The state of this cabin here, because it's going to look so much better when we're finished. Here's the seat. Now I'm pretty sure this was out of an old Hilux, and you can see the condition of it. It's absolutely trash. It's got holes in it and stuff. But I'll get these. Look at that. That's 36 years of dust. 36? Yeah, 36 years of dust collected. So bloody gross. And that's what this is all about, is like removing those 36 years of dust and dirt and stories and everything, and creating your own new truck to create new stories. That's what's exciting about it. So get the seats reupholstered, and then probably get them like black duck seat covers or something put on them. But you can see the condition of the floor, the dash, look at this kind of thing. Someone's put an aftermarket speedo in there, and they've just done I don't want to bag them out, but they've just done a poor job. So just trying to do everything properly, get nice new parts for it, and bring it back to the condition it deserves to be in.
There's 2 pens.
Oh, score.
1.
Oh, look at that. That's probably from 30 years ago in the army.
That was $2, Dad.
$2. Look at that. That's a sign. This is going to be a good build.
I'm gonna go get a drink.
These Unimogs just continue to amaze me. So I've just removed this panel here. This panel usually sits in there roughly. I don't want these old style cigarette points on there, that's kind of useless. What I want to do is build a overhead console and have all my charging points up there, and possibly 1 or 2 on the dash, because I'm going to build a console through here as well, so you can put your phone and everything up there and charge it. Down here I reckon cup holders, maybe 1 or 2 USB points would be handy. How crazy is this? You can get straight into the motor from in here, like that is, that's the lever for the accelerator. What else we got in there? That's my exhaust brake that you can see there. which actually isn't working at the moment, the exhaust brake, and that's why. I'm pretty sure there's a butterfly valve inside the exhaust. Well, there is. That's what blocks off the motor to give you that braking, that engine braking, and I'm pretty sure it's buggered. So when we pull the turbo off and that exhaust off, hopefully we can service the butterfly valve and get that working again, because the mechanism itself, which I can get to so easily from here. So what you do, you got this button here, which is on your heel. There you go, look at that. That's what gives you that engine braking, and the mechanism itself seems to be working fine, so it must be the valve inside the exhaust. But yeah, I've got grease nipples in here, like, it's just so cool that you can access the engine from in here. But that is why these things are so hot. The other thing is, this here is an access point to get down to the transmission and everything, and these Unimogs are set up so you can lift the cab forward, they pivot forward, and this point here stays fixed. Something's happened in the past where they've done a cab lift, I'd say, without undoing this properly, and it's bent all this. You can see here the rubber's not sealed properly, and in there I can see light, I can see daylight down below, so that's not good. Any daylight, any bad seal means heat and noise coming up here into the cab, so I'm going to have to bash that out, try and get it straight. But we are getting there. The sealing's off now. I'm going to take this seal off for this gun turret, the hatch in the roof, and probably start pulling the dash apart a little bit, and then get the wire wheel and just wire wheel all the floor, all that surface rust, get it all nice and tidy, and then start taking the glass out. So the worst rust in the whole truck is in this gun hatch lid, which fortunately it's really bad, but fortunately I should be able to get one of these from Mog Central or Unidan or someone like that who take these off regularly and do like a cab lift, a roof lift in these trucks. Yeah, I've got a new seal. So Mog Central, we've got a new seal, window seal coming from Mog Central. So rather than trying to shimmy this rubber seal down and push it out, I'm just cutting off this internal part. I'll leave a little bit on there to hold it. And then I'll jump out and help Dad to take the glass. Ideally you'd want suction caps on here, but we don't have any. I reckon that'll be enough, Dad. I'm just going to push a little bit and just see if it feels like it's just got, like from being in there, it's kind of sucked in, you know? Hey.
Is that Grandy filming himself only?
Grandy's the OG. He taught me everything I know about being on camera.
Sure he did. I bet you taught him more.
Through the back window.
Huh?
Through the back window, eh?
It's the door now.
Good day, hey? Glasses out. So there's a little bit of surface rust in here. Hit that with a wire wheel. Like Oak said, that's not too bad. Wire wheel, rust converter, a bit of paint. 1, 2, 3, 4 spots there.
It would be weird sitting on a crate though.
You're gonna have to, hey? Put it back in the shed.
Puppy!
She's looking pretty bare in here. That's the dash almost all pulled apart. Glass is out of the back, the hatch is taken off. All right, today did not go to plan. It was a good day on the wire wheel all day, pretty much. Cleaning out the inside of the truck here and then going over the outside. But I found some rust. I knew it was there. I could see it bubbling when I picked up the truck, but I just didn't think it'd be that bad. On the inside and on the outside of this gutter, it comes around the front here as well. It's pretty nasty, both sides in these corners. And this truck I want to do properly, you know, I want to build this so I can have it for years. So once I put this nice paint job on it, I'm not thinking, you know, next year or every time it rains, you're stressing out that water's getting back in there and that rust is going to bubble back out from the inside. So this is the worst of it. There was a little bit along the bottom of the windscreen line there, which is just surface level. I'll tidy that up with bog and paint it up before I put the windscreen back in, but the truck's stripped. I can't drive it, so I'm in need of a fabricator that's mobile that will do this for next to nothing, because this build is blowing out of proportions. Because of the intercooler going in, I've got to get a different grill, which is thousands of dollars, and I've got to cut my bonnet to fit the new grill. So like I said the other day, these builds just keep growing and growing and growing. But hopefully this is it. If we can sort this and I can get some money for that grill, there's hopefully no more surprises, and this truck is going to be an absolute weapon. I've got a bit of sanding to do and a whole lot of phone calls trying to find a sheet metal worker that can come and fabricate this up and fix it up for me. So I'll see you on the next episode when we work out what to do here. Thanks for watching, guys. And thanks to Sherby Power Products for backing everything I do. I love you guys, love your gear, love the support you're giving me, and I love what you guys are all about. I'm meeting you up there in the bush in the start of September to do some filming together. You guys are always out there doing what I do, so yeah, big thanks to you guys. And if everyone else is after some kind of power product, you know, lithium gear or, you know, DC to DC chargers or full plug and play kits to whack in the back of your canopy, plug it into one of these custom lithium batteries that are made in-house here in Bundaberg in Queensland, and hit the road and live off the grid, then check out Solar and Sat, which is Sherby Power Products.